All right, good morning. Well, afternoon for some of you guys. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys had an awesome week. I'm super excited to have Nicole speak to us today. It's funny, actually, on Facebook, it popped up that we have been a Facebook friend for 1 year now. So that's kind of ironic that after being friends for 1 year, she's now leading one of our team calls, which is amazing. She is a military wife. She has two beautiful little kids and two super cute fur babies, and her husband is home with her now. And I'm just super excited for you guys to hear about her journey. And she is one of the most consistent coaches that I have. Like, she, no matter what, she is showing up on social media every single day, and she is busy, you guys. Like, I watch her Instagram stories, and I know that she's doing stuff all the time, but she is fitting this in pockets. And I really, really think that she's going to help a lot of you guys realize that you can do this too. If you're struggling and you feel like you're super busy, I know that she's going to give you lots of tips to just squeeze it in and make it work for you. So with that being said, Nicole, you can take the floor. Just make sure to unmute yourself.
All right, you guys can hear me okay? Yeah? Okay, good. All right, I'm so excited and I'm so nervous. I'm so excited to be talking to you guys. I just wanted to tell you a quick story real quick. Yesterday, I meal prepped 75 meals, which is like crazy because I hate meal prepping just for myself. But I don't know if you guys went through this, but with the back order, one of my challengers, he actually lives here. He works with my husband. So he had a back order and it took about almost 3 weeks for him to get his order. And he was like super upset. So me trying to accommodate my challengers because I love them and I don't just see them as a dollar sign or a success club point. I told him that I would help him meal prep. So I did his meals yesterday too. So I was busy all day. So I know I promised you guys I would do those procedures on the highlights, and I'm still going to get those done for you guys. But that was what happened yesterday. So, and on top of trying to keep my kids and my dogs and my husband alive. So, okay. So I hit Success Club 14 for the month of January, which is absolutely insane for me because the highest I ever hit was Success Club 6, and I never stayed consistent last year. So for me to do 14 was like, holy cow, like I can't believe I actually hit that. So I just want to tell you guys a little bit about me to get like more of a background about who I am and like how coaching fits into my life. So I started coaching March of last year. I'm coming up on my 1 year anniversary. I'm super excited about that. I picked the most difficult time to start coaching, but really for anybody, there's no right time in life to do anything. You just have to jump in and do it. So for me specifically, I had two young babies. My husband was deploying and he was going to be gone majority of the year. We were making a big move and it was just really difficult for me at that time because I was still trying to get a hold of being a mom of two, and that was just like really hard for me. And with that being a mom, you know, I had to breastfeed my daughter. I was waking up 7 times or more at night to, for my little one and for my son. So it was just really hard for me mentally and physically. I was just exhausted the majority of the year last year. I mean, I'm exhausted all the time, but really last year was terrible for me. So I started off really strong because I was super excited about this opportunity. And I think a lot of people, when they start off with this business, are like, yes, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to make this much money. And I had this, I think it was not an unrealistic goal, but I think I was just I didn't know what I was doing right away. So I was starting off way too fast. So when I started hearing all those no's and after the invites, it really started to get into my mind. And I think that happens with a lot of people. You know, you hear no's and then you start doubting yourself. And that is where last year, one of the biggest factors was that I did not listen or read personal development as much as I should. And I know you guys hear that all the time. Do personal development. It is so serious, guys. If I would have done personal development last year, I think my business would have been much greater this year. I mean, I'm still happy with where I'm at, but really, you guys have to get into personal development if you guys have it at all. I wasn't organized. And also when I started doubting myself, I kind of fell off my health journey. So that was just like a compound effect of everything. And if you guys read the compound effect, it can go either positive or negative. So for me, it was starting to go negative. And then as the year went on, I started to kind of reevaluate. And then as soon as my husband was coming back home, I kind of got more momentum because I went back to my why. So if you guys ever feel yourself getting off track, just go back to your why. Like, why did you start this business? Why do you want to help people? Why do you feel this is a calling for you? So for me, that was a huge thing last year. I have notes. That's why I keep looking down. And like Virginia said, for 2017, I really, even though I fell off with a few things, I stayed consistent with being present on social media all the time. I posted no matter what was going on. I tried to always put my best into being present and to let people know that even though I may be falling off this journey, I am still consistent and I'm still here and I'm still trying to show you guys that I'm trying my best, even though I have so much going on, which is the case for most people. So, okay, that's my backstory. Now, let's get into the tips. I wrote down 5 tips because I wanted to be organized for you guys, and I want you guys to maybe write this down if you want to. So number 1, excuse my language. You guys need to quit being chicken shits. Like quit doubting yourself. Quit thinking, you know what? I can't invite people. Like it's so scary. Just stop doing that. If you want your business to grow, if you want to be better and do better, you have to do hard things. That's just plain and simple. So if you feel like I can't do this, just you need to like slap yourself and be like, I need to stop being a chicken shit because I really need to do this. I really want this. So with that being said, I have more to say about that. There is a call, if you guys have not listened to it, it was the marketing call with Lindsay Stay and Elizabeth Harkey, where Lindsay said, you guys need to be confident about what you're doing with this business. Like, don't feel like you're trying to drag people into challenge groups, drag people into this coaching opportunity, because you are a badass for doing this. You're a badass for being a coach. You're a badass for being on your health journey and wanting people to also enjoy this opportunity. So you need to realize that what you're doing is that you're blessing people. You are putting a blessing into people's lives by just asking them if they want to do this. And if they say no, that's fine, but you'll never know unless you ask. So that's my number 1 is quit being a chicken shit. Number 2, I kind of talked about this already. If you start to feel yourself go off track, make sure that you just reevaluate. You know, you may want to set a goal like every week or every month that you want to reevaluate where you're at in your business, in your personal life, and how, you know, those two do go together. So just reevaluate your health journey. Maybe if you're falling off nutrition, if you're not doing the workouts consistently, you know, just make sure that you're reevaluating that. And then always go back to your why. You know, you guys have to go back to your why. Like, why did you start this business? For me, my husband coming back from deployment, being a mom and feeling like you're a single mom, even though you have a husband and a father of your children, is terrible. Like, I hate that my husband has to be away from our kids, and he has missed them growing up for both of them, for both of their years of them being alive. He's missed everything. He's missed them crawling, walking, talking, all that stuff. And my why is that I don't want him to miss anything else anymore. So that's really, you know, I have to go back to that all the time. And that's what I did at the end of the year, is I went back to that. So, sorry, I almost got emotional there, but we got it. Okay, number 3, stay consistent or be non-existent. I heard this from a coach last year who did a Instagram training. So that was like one of the biggest things that stuck in my mind last year and really set me off, was that I never fell off social media. I never fell off talking to people, even though I may not have been inviting as much as I wanted to. You know, I feel like sometimes people go either all in or they're all back, like all out, you know, like they're not doing something to move their business forward. So if you guys are not inviting, at least be adding people to your network, starting conversations. And then when you get that courage up to invite people, which you should be anyways, then you have people to talk to, and you like don't feel as uncomfortable because you're connecting with people, because that's what this business is about, is connecting with people. It's not about making money, rank advancing, all that stuff. I mean, that stuff's awesome when you can get to that, but that is not where, you know, that's not the foundation of this business. It's about serving people, and that's what we're here for. And also, on top of that, I wanted to talk about number 4 is don't expect people to come to you. Last year, I had this expectation like, okay, I'm about to rock this journey. People are going to be flocking to me because they're going to see my transformation results and how awesome I'm doing. And that's not the case. Like, you guys have to be connecting with people. You have to be inviting, because you know what happened to me last year? I had three cousins, family members, blood of mine, who joined Beachbody, and they saw me doing Beachbody the whole entire year, and I had talked to them about that. But they didn't join me in my journey. They joined someone else who wasn't even their family. So, someone else is going to invite someone if you don't, someone else, and it could be from another MLM. It could be from anywhere. If you're not connected with people and inviting them, someone else is going to do it. Someone else wants it more than you, is going to work harder than you are if you're not doing it. And number 5, my biggest thing is you guys are right where you're supposed to be. Like if you guys don't know, if you don't know anything about me, faith is one of my biggest things in my life. And I feel like God puts us where we are supposed to be at. So just know that wherever you're at in your life right now with this opportunity, you are where you're supposed to be. And what I really want to touch on with that is I have a college degree. I never thought I'd be a mom of 2 at 26. Like I would, if you would ask me when I was in my 20s, like in college, I would be like, no, I don't want to be a mom right now. Like I have all these things I want to do. I was in the corporate world for a while, and I was very good at what I do because I'm a very hard worker. And once you get me going with learning stuff, I learn stuff really quickly. So I was getting really high in the corporate world, and then I became a mom. And now me trying to run my own business and doing this stuff, I would have never expected this 5 years ago if you would have asked me that. Like I would have never expected me to be right here. So just know that you guys being where you're at right now and doing what you're doing, serving people, being on your own journey, trying to be a boss like of your own life, you are right where you need to be at. So just know that. So that's really where my mindset was at in January. And I hope that helps you guys. I know that we hear these things all the time from other people, but I think that it's always good to constantly hear this stuff because you just need to beat it into your brain. Like these things, you need to beat them into your brain to be successful and to be successful every month and just be successful in life. So that's all I have to say.
That was amazing, like short and sweet, to the point. And I think it helps too, like hearing it from other people, because Kristen and I hop on here all the time, but it's so nice to hear it from other people who are in other situations too, that, you have so many excuses that you could come up with, but instead you push through. And I absolutely loved your number 1. Stop being a chicken shit. Like it's so true though. And I feel like everyone though, as a new coach, you go through that phase, you're nervous to put yourself out there and it is scary, but honestly, you guys, when you are vulnerable, that's when you're going to reach more people. That's when you're going to, something will click. Someone following you will be like, wow, she is like me. Like I've went through that. I've struggled with that before. And then they're going to be more interested in following you too. And even this morning, I know I went on my Instagram story and talked about like, it's okay if you mess up on your meal plan and you have to keep going, because for a long time, I remember like I went through a phase when I would eat something bad and I would beat myself up and I'd be like, okay, I need to go run. I need to go run all of this off. And just opening myself up like that, I had people, message me, hey, I needed to hear that today. And I think sometimes we forget about things that we went through. So definitely share all of those vulnerabilities out there with the world. And I see Kirsten's face. She's driving right now. I feel like, do you want to say something, girl?
I'm not driving. I'm passenger. No, I was going to say that was amazing. That was so spot on, especially for this time of year, because people get intimidated. You start out really strong, and maybe in your business and in your fitness, you kind of are like, come mid-February, you're like, oh man, like I haven't really been giving it my all. And you put yourself in this position where you're like, well, I'm either going all in or I'm done. Like I just like can't do this anymore. And I think just realizing that success comes from those moments where you have butterflies in your stomach and you're nervous and you feel like anxious to hit post and you feel like, oh my gosh, like Jesus, take the wheel. That's what I always sing. Like I sing that Carrie Underwood song, like actually more often. I don't even like it, but it's just so true. It's like, man, like just like take over, like greater powers that be. I just don't know what's going to happen. But I think if you ask any coach high up when they've had that feeling of like fear or the feeling of doubt and they've pushed through it and they posted anyways, they shared anyways, they always say, I'm so glad I did that because I found my next rock star. I found a challenger and I helped her lose 100 pounds or whatever the case may be. But you are going to find success in those moments of doubt, in those moments of fear. That's where success comes from.
Yes, definitely. I'm just going to read some of the comments here. Thanks, Nicole. Great job, girl.
Thank
Yes,
you guys.
number one's the best. I'll admit that. That's one of my biggest barriers. See, yeah, I feel like a lot of people, you just get nervous, like, and it's totally normal. But like Kristen said, when you push through, that's when, you overcome those barriers and you see more success.
Well, and on top
Yes.
of that, I just wanted to add to number one, I forgot to mention this, is you guys have to go back to where you started. Like, if you feel icky about inviting people or you feel icky about posting, like, where did you start? Did Virginia invite you to this coaching opportunity when Julie, we were 3 days into your challenge group? And like, why aren't you doing that to people if that's how you started? Or for me, I saw one of Virginia's posts about coaching and she didn't even, like, we didn't have like a deep conversation about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready to do this. Like, that was my start. So where did you guys start off with your health journey, or where did you start off with your coaching, and why can't that happen to someone else the same way that it happened to you? Don't feel gross about it. Don't be chicken about it.
Yeah, definitely. And to think too, like, where would your life be without Beachbody? Like, I look back on that a lot of times because I was going through a really weird phase. I don't know where I would have ended up because I was struggling on my own fitness journey, and this is exactly what I needed. I just needed a little extra support, a community. I love playing sports, and I really miss that team atmosphere. So look for someone that is like where you were before Beachbody, someone who needs this in their life. And when you think about it that way, it doesn't feel gross to invite. And the worst thing that you're going to hear is no. And it's actually hilarious to me because a lot of times people say no and then they'll watch me for a year or 2 or 3 or 4. And then finally they come back around. They're like, you know what? You're still doing that. Like, obviously it's not a scheme. Like, you are still in good shape. Like, obviously it's working. And sometimes that's what it takes because a lot of people are skeptical, and that's not a bad thing, you guys. Some people are just skeptical and they're not going to dive right in. They want to watch and they want to make sure this is legit, and that's not a bad thing. So if you've convinced them after a year, that's probably a good thing because then they're like, okay, I'm ready to do this. So you definitely have to invite, though, because if you're not inviting, somebody else is. And I love that you said that, Nicole, like your cousins joined with someone else. I had the same thing happen. One of my cousins, who I was like, oh, she would never do this. I saw she posted something about 21 Day Fix. I was like ready to throw my computer. I was like, she did not sign up with her friend, and she knows that I do this all the time. Like, you just never know. And it's happened to me multiple times. So you just cannot put, a stereotype on someone like, oh, they probably won't want to do this. Like, even one of my best friend's little sister, she joined with somebody else, and I was like, are you serious? Like, you know what I do. But sometimes they don't get it. They don't know who they can sign up with. They don't know how this works. And obviously we know how all this works because we're coaches, but some people don't know. So you have to be inviting, and you just have to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know I heard Mel Robbins speak at the New Leader Conference, and I absolutely love that. Just do it. The worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to ignore you, say no. If they blow up, which I haven't had happen very often, but the odd time, have some crazy person. Hello, block button, my favorite button in the world. Like, it's social media, you guys. It's not like you're, face to face. Like, this is easy when you think about it. I see some chat messages. I was going to read how Jess said, yeah, you can't expect people to come to you. And I know even in the beginning, me too, like I thought people would just come to me, but right off the bat, like I started messaging people. Like, even if they were liking my post, I would send them a message. Hey girls, thanks so much for liking my post. Just curious, would you like some more info about this challenge I'm doing? Super simple, short. But it works. And, if they're interested, they'll say yes. If they're not, they'll say no, or they'll no reply. It's not a big deal.
I was just going to say that when it comes to inviting, sure, that's the tough part. But I find that one of the least emphasized parts about inviting is, you know how we'll always say, oh yeah, we had someone come a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later and say, I've been watching your journey. So what does that require? That requires consistency. So if you're not consistently posting and sharing your journey, people aren't going to come to you and say that because they don't know if you're doing it still. They don't know how into it you are. They're probably going to find someone who's more consistent and posting more and more, reliable, and who's really all in, because they want people that are proof of the product, that they're product of the product, showing that they love this business. They bleed Beachbody Blue because that's what you have to do. That's what makes you look legit, is if you show up every single day on your social media platforms, choose one and rock it. If that's Instagram stories for you, I know Jen and I love Instagram stories. Almost like 99% of our business comes from Instagram because we are sharing so much. And not just Beachbody, we're sharing our personalities, and that's what people are attracted to. They're attracted to your energy. So if you're sending invites, you sure as heck better be consistent with your social media presence, because when they come back in maybe a month, when they're thinking about it and they see that you haven't posted in like several days or maybe a week or two, they're like, I'm not even sure that this is the right coach for me. So just be super consistent with your journey and with sharing it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you got to show up every day.
Yes. So true. So does anyone have any questions about anything? I think this was a great call though for February, because I feel like January, it's like, oh my gosh, let's go, hoorah. And like, this was good for you, Nicole, to hop on, share some of your struggles from last year, you know, the ups and downs, and what you have to do the whole year to be successful. Not just in January. You have to do this the whole year, you guys. Every single month, we all start at Success Club 0. All of us. We're on the same playing field, and it's a clean slate, and you have to start from scratch and continue to invite and show up, be a product of the product. But honestly, I know personally, I love it. Like, it helps me on my own journey. That's why I love coaching, because I feel so accountable. And I know that when I do better on my own personal health and fitness journey, my business does better as well. Like, it goes hand in hand, and it's crazy because over the last 4 years, I've had like some ups and downs, you know, going through different stuff where I've been off on my fitness journey, and then my business is off. But then I get back on and I'm diving in and I'm doing so good on my programs, and my business is so good too. So definitely keep that in mind, and almost as motivation, like, let me stick to this meal plan and workout program, show the world what is possible when you follow the program and when you follow the meal plan. Yes, these programs work if you do the work. And that's the key part, right? You have to put in the work and show people, but also be real too. And, you know, share that maybe you cheated and you had some wine, or you did this. Like, share everything, because people are going to relate to that. If you're like, oh, I'm 100% clean eating and I'm a fairy and I love every single workout, they're going to be like, she's such a liar. Like, that's not even true. So you have to make sure to like just be you and show up and just rock it, you guys. Like, you are all incredible people, and people are going to gravitate to you if you're, you know, positive and happy. People need more of that in their lives. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I see posts on Facebook and I'm like, ooh, girl, she needs this in her life. Like, and a lot of people do. And I'm fortunate that a lot of my feed is Beachbody and everyone's like uplifting. But a lot of people's Facebook and Instagrams are not like that. So if you are on their feed, be that light, be real and honest, and just be you, because people appreciate that a lot. I'm just going to see the chat. Yeah, people definitely relate to your struggles more than anything, because they want to know that they're not alone, right? And if they see you overcome something, then they definitely want to talk to you, because if they're going through that, they're like, how am I going to get through this? Like, I have no idea how to meal prep. I can't cook chicken. Like, and they see you, and if you share about that, if you tell people, like, there's a point in my life where I didn't know how to make craft dinner, and look at me now with all these prep meals, you know, like, and that's true. That's my story. Shoot, I didn't know how to cook at all, but when I started Beachbody, I started learning and, you know, getting better and better. And 4 years later, I'm just a pro at it and I can do it easy. But people need to hear that. They need to know where you started and where you are now. If you just share all the good stuff, they're like, oh, she's always been like that. So make sure sometimes to reflect in your post too, and share where you were in the beginning and where you are now. So I think with that, you know, it was about 30 minutes. I think that was a perfect, awesome Sunday team call. Thank you guys. Thank you, Nicole, so much for hopping on here. I know you were nervous, but you totally rocked it. And I'm super excited to hear from some more leaders on our team. I think it's fun to hear people's stories and hear about their journeys. So I think Marie and Colleen, they're on like our big team. They went to New Leader in LA this weekend, and I think they are going to do a team call for us this week. I think Thursday, don't quote me, but I think it's going to be on Thursday. So I'm going to share that, and that'll probably act as our team call because that's going to be really, really good. Kirsten, anything to add before we hop off?
No, that was amazing, Nicole. You did so good. You're gonna have to be a featured guest on our team calls now. That's why you have to screw it up the first time, so we don't ask you again. But look what you did. Now you're gonna be doing it all the
time. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it, and thank you for everybody who showed up. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, awesome. Okay, guys, have a beautiful Sunday, and let's rock this week ahead of us. See ya.